Okay, a question about counters. For some reason, I like questions about counters. A box contains some blue and red counters. There are 295 counters in total. 1/3 of the red counters are removed. 1/5 of the blue counters are removed. 75 counters are removed in total. And we're asked, what was the ratio of red to blue counters at the start? Okay, right. So what I'm going to do is to draw a bar for the red counters and a bar for the blue counters. So let's start here. So red and blue, and I might as well use some color. And I'm just going to choose an arbitrary block size. I'm going to make this the block for the red. So this is one part of red counters, and we've got 3 parts altogether because it says 1/3 here. So I'm going to draw 3 blocks that have the same value. So this is what we have at the start for red. Okay, and what do we know? Actually, I'm going to draw the blue one. Okay, so what do we have for blue? Well, for blue, we are dealing in fifths. So I'm going to draw 5 blocks. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, completely arbitrary block sizing, okay, compared to each other. I'm not comparing red to blue here, okay? And that's what we have at the start. And then what happens? Well, it says that 1/3 of the red counters are removed. So I'm going to do this. Actually, what I should have done, what I haven't done, is I haven't said there are 295 counters in total, so 295. Okay, so that's my 295. 1/3 of the red counters are removed. That's what that represents. Okay, and then 1/5 of the blue counters are removed. Okay, so that's 1/5 of the blue. And we're told that 75 counters are removed in total. Okay, so that tells us that, let's choose another color altogether, that tells us that this part plus this part, okay, these two together equal 75. All right, so that's what we've been told altogether now. So we've got that information there, that there, that's there, that's there. And at this point, you just trust that there's enough information there for you to solve the problem. So you have a look at it. And what you might notice then, well, if this part and this part equals 75, then this part and this part together would equal 75, as would this part and this part. They would also equal 75. And if you removed all of these pairs, so you've just removed one of these at the moment, if you removed all 3 of these pairs, you would be left with these 2 blue parts, these 2 blue blocks. So let's do that then. So we've got 3 times 75, so 75 times 3 gives us 225. If we subtract that from this total, so 295 minus 225 gives us 70. Okay, that is the value of these 2 pieces here. This is 70. And if 2 of them are 70, then each of them has to have a value of 35, because 70 divided by 2 is 35. So all of these are 35. I don't need to fill them all in, but there you go. Right, what can I do now? Well, I can now calculate the value of this entire bar, okay, which is 35 times 5. So we've got 35 times 5, and that gives me 170. So I now know the value of the blue bar. This whole blue bar, okay, is 175. So at the beginning, there were 175 blue counters. Well, I know the total number of counters, that's 295. So if I do 295 minus 175, I'm left with 120, which must be the value of the red counters. Okay, so that's 120. And I could fill it in if I wanted to. These each have a value of 40. I'm not actually asked for this, but there we go. What am I asked for then? I'm asked for the ratio of red to blue counters at the start. Well, at the start, red to blue. Well, what did we have? At the start, we had one. Actually, let's do this over here. And let's do it in colour. Why not? So red to blue. Okay. What did we have? Well, red, we had 120 and blue 175. So I now have to think of the largest number that I can divide into both. Well, I can see that they're both divisible by 5, and I think that's probably going to be it. So divide by 5, divide by 5, and 120 divided by 5 is 24, and 175 divided by 5 is 35. So this is my final answer. Okay, so what was the ratio of red to blue counters at the start? 24 to 35.